Welcome to Shri and Kira Live, the voice of passionate action, bringing fresh perspectives and timeless wisdom for today's shifting paradigm. Now, it is your moment to open your mind, relax into your body and spirit as we explore the greater meaning of your now experience. Bringing wisdom, laughter, and clarity, here are Shri and Kira.
Well, namaste, beloved ones, and welcome to the Voice of Passionate Action. I am Kira Ra.
And I am Shri Ram Ka, and we are delighted to be with you.
And I have a question I've got to open up with. Are you ready for a miracle?
Ready as I can be.
Ooh, we love that song. We do, if you have never heard that song, Are You Ready for a Miracle? Go. It's one of those great get you going songs. And it's really about, because today we're talking about the truth, the absolute truth about miracle manifestation. We're going to dive through all the quote secrets, dive through all the things that people claim, and bring you to a place where miracles are real, miracles can happen, and miracles are your birthright. But I suspect you already know that. That's why you're tuning in today.
Well, there's a difference between wishful thinking and wish fulfillment.
Well, Shri, I love that. I totally love that.
We're going to move from the wishful to the fulfillment.
We are. And what a perfect moment, because we're in this powerful August heat, this hologram that's been expanding and transforming. And oh my goodness, even this morning, the earth shook big time in the San Francisco area in California.
Well, let's just take a deep breath and send a blessing of calm and reassurance to
and
those
miracles
in the Napa area. I know there's a lot of people that have had an unhappy surprise.
Yeah, and it reminded me a year ago, Shri and I actually were in a 7.2 earthquake down here in Guatemala, and so our heart is just big. We understand what it's like to ride that wave.
Ride that wave and to pick up afterwards.
Indeed, because this is August. We are healing our planet. We are healing ourselves. And it's just the perfect time to talk about how we can step through any illusionary experience, no matter how real it presents itself, and discover the way to manifest these miracles in our lives. And I want to remind all of you, if you are catching us live, just dial 888-627-6008. Again, that's 888-627-6008 to get into the queue to ask us a question, get a mini soul reading, and share your miracle success with us. I'm excited, Shri. Let's dive in because we have so much content today.
Well, we have a number of topics that we want to explore with you because people tend to oversimplify, and when we generalize, we miss out on the goodies.
Yeah, well, that's really well said.
And so often, well, let's just kind of start at the beginning.
Okay, a good place to start, as Mary Poppins would say.
We're going to talk about wish fulfillment.
No, Sound of Music.
We're going to talk about manifestation,
all right,
charisma,
I'm ready.
abundance.
I'm ready for a miracle.
And getting on with your life.
Well, get on, baby. Let's do it.
So I got a question for everybody. Class.
Bueller. I'm sorry.
How many of you have ever created one of those wish boards? What do they call those? Where you cut out the photos in the magazine? Yeah,
like where you have that piece of your oak tag, as they used to call it, or whatever, and you're pushing you're cutting out magazine clippings or writing down words
pictures
and
of the
things you want.
That you want.
Yeah, things that you want.
Yeah, and if any of you have ever done that, you know that it's fun. It's exciting.
It's a great little project that usually is one of the first things people start working with when they're entering a more spiritual path or a path of manifestation or working with the quote-unquote laws of attraction.
Well, yes, it's really, many people feel that this is an exercise in empowerment.
Right.
To learn how to apply your co-creative energy.
Well, how to ask. I mean, it's really also talking about, am I worthy of receiving? Am I willing to even ask or get clear on what I want?
So there's a number of things that happen when we start doing that.
When
we put the declaration on the refrigerator door, cut out a picture, and put it there. We're actually doing some very healthy things, but we're also being a little naive in some ways.
And sometimes, Shri, I have to say this, sometimes naivety is the best way to start because you don't know what you don't know. Thereby, you stumble into a greater process.
Absolutely. But let's break this down a little bit to make sure that we
break it down, baby. Break it down.
What we're talking about. Don't get too crazy on me now. Otherwise,
you know who you married.
So when you cut out that picture, when you sit there and you give yourself the gift of creative imagination, you're actually opening the door to a place of passion inside. It's a place where, hey, I've got energy for that. Now, whatever that might be, you know, it might maybe you cut out a picture of a bag of money. Maybe
I think a lot of people do.
Maybe you cut out a picture of a beautiful vacation home
or your perfect partner.
Car.
Yeah.
Or some dude from the magazine
or gal. Yeah, exactly.
Be careful. We don't know what they're really like. We only have a picture. So
right, exactly.
Don't advise that one.
Or a composite.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe you Photoshop together your perfect reality.
There you go.
I think we all did that millennia ago.
Absolutely. Many millennia ago. But that's another show.
But the issue here is we discover something about ourselves. We're discovering, where's our imagination, where is our passion, and when I say passion now, I'm referring to that emotional ignition, because one of the things they'll always tell you is if you don't have energy for the picture is just a photo. But when we're able to ignite energy, when we're able to put passion and surround a thought, a picture, an image with passion, then it becomes quote unquote attractive.
Well, now we got to talk about this, because one of the things we're going to do today is, guys, I want you to imagine what we're going to outline for you are the four steps. There are 4 points, and we like to think of them as the base of a pyramid. And it's a pyramid whereby if you build this pyramid, you're able to truly call in the miracles of your life. So you might even want to be writing some of the stuff we're sharing with you today down, listen to the show more than once, have a study group around it, bring people in. If you're a Miracle Team member, a Toast of Miracle Team member, and you're already doing monthly gatherings, use this in your gatherings, because these 4 steps, and they're more than steps, they're points, energies, build the foundation of a pyramid of crystalline purity from whence you have the ability to collect your miracle energy. And alongside of that are some trap doors. It's like you better get inside the pyramid before you fall through a trap door. And so there's a lot of information we're sharing with you here.
And so this first piece that we're talking about, this energy of passion, I like to call it the charisma, because charisma to me is far more of an exotic word.
I like exotic, you know that.
And it also holds with it, and I think for most people, both the positive and the negative side of the passion.
And this passion, guys, is one of those points. So this is part of your foundation. So it's important to understand the passion foundation. Now, Sri, talking about passion, and before we dive into this, we have so many people already calling in. And so maybe we want to just say hi to a person and grab a caller, or do you want to dive into this passion more?
No.
I think our callers are passionate.
Absolutely. And we're delighted to head over to line 1 and say hi to Holly from Maine.
Oh, hi, Holly.
Hi, guys.
Hi. We're so happy to say hi to you today.
As usual. I haven't gotten to listen to you in a while because, I've gotten caught up in the time speeding up thing. I feel like kind of crazy. But what I'm calling, I just have been so grateful to you for so much. I do the weekly practices all the time, and I love them, and I'm so grateful for them. And I'm actually calling in to you specifically to kind of pay testament to my best friend. We got this farm together 10 years ago to basically together house all our animals that we collected. And I couldn't have done it without her. I call her an earth angel. And I don't know, she's amazing, and everybody loves her. She's been a vet tech for like 25 years, and we all love her. And I just want to send her extra special love, and I wanted to ask you guys to, help me do that, I guess.
Can you give me her first name?
Yeah, it's Barbara.
Barbara. All right. Well, I am just ecstatic that you called on this day of miracle presence and this day of where we're talking about miracles. And so thank you for, first of all, sharing a miracle in your life, which has been this 25-year journey with Barbara or Barbara's journey with you. So let's bring our hands to our heart And as we all bring our hands to our heart, let's step into the middle of this beautiful crystalline pyramid of miracle energy. I want you to feel yourself there. And I love that we took your call as we started talking about the first point, which is passion, because the two of you have a passion for these animals and a passion for how you're living your life and a passion for how you're moving forward. And so as we step into the energy of this beautiful pyramid, let's call in that energy of divine passion and gratitude. Let's just wrap those two together. And as we stand in the center of the pyramid, I want you to feel, starting at the bottom of your feet, spinning around you, beautiful crystalline energy, just lifting you, supporting you. If it's safe to lift your hands up now, lift your hands up. Let the head go back and let a deep breath come in. Bring it in. Oh, let it out with sound and smile, because the universe is shining on both of you with radiant miracle presence. And thank you for energizing that today. And that little practice I just walked you through is a great way to energize the center of the miracle pyramid that we're going to be talking about. So stay with us through the whole show and then use that often. And I think you both will be radiantly showered with even more presence and miracles. And we love you. Thank you, dear one.
I love you guys too. Thank you.
Bye, honey.
Namaste. Well, truly, as we move forward today, one of the things we want to make sure that we have a discernment around is that passion, energy.
Yeah.
So often in our lives, we're babes in the woods, so to speak. We grow up, we grow in discernment, we get past the little world of the me, and we start seeing the us and the globe and the cosmos.
Yeah.
And during that journey, we will often run into people who are charismatic. And so if I say that to you, think of a charismatic person. What kind of image comes to mind? Because for some people,
well, that Sri, I got to tell you, you get both. You get lots of sides there.
If you think of that, you'll say, well, there are those that are the quote unquote charlatans or the salespeople.
Well, I have to admit, I see the fundamentalist preacher.
Oh, there's that.
That charismatic kind of preaching thing. I have to admit, that was the first thing that came in front of me.
And now I want you to then imagine a person who's quietly charismatic.
Yeah, empowered maybe, huh?
Now think about that for a moment. What examples can you come up with a more quietly charismatic individual? And for me, His Holiness the Dalai Lama.
Absolutely.
Forward.
Talk about a quiet charisma.
And there's others like that. So what is the difference? And this is the piece that I just offer out there for our own growth and discernment. The difference between the charisma of the manipulator versus the charisma of the authentic.
Well, and how do you know, Sri? I mean, you're bringing up a provocative point. And I think I'm hearing a lot of people say, well, okay, Sri, I get it, but how do I know? Are there ways that I can determine this? Are there things inside of me? Are there feelings?
There are ways to know.
How would that be?
Okay, let's talk about our chakras.
Let's do it.
Where do you feel the person?
Well, that's a great point. And guys, if you're not sure you're feeling them in a chakra, just where in your body? Because are you getting that grip in the stomach? Is your heart fluttering? Is your mind chattering? What's happening?
Because your heart is your truth detector.
Absolutely.
And we've talked about this before, and we'll talk about it again.
And again, I'm sure.
So often when we get excited, we lose our grounding, so to speak. We become off into the energy of desire or the energy of anticipation or hope. Boy, does anybody remember what it was like during Barack Obama's first run at the White House?
I don't know that anybody could ever forget. I mean, it was such a different, amazing, extraordinary moment.
There was an example of charisma where the energy of hope was fueling. And And hope.
Yes, we can.
Somebody coined the phrase the hope pope.
Yeah.
However, what was beautiful about that experience is it ignited in folks a trust or a potential of here's what's not happening that I wish would happening. That's the hope thing, is we can be better than we are. We can do more than we are.
So I get it. And we're downstream, but I want to go back and recap a little bit because I can't believe we're almost coming up to our first break. So I want to go up and recap. We opened up talking about making these boards.
The little storyboards, the desire boards.
The storyboards. And about, and guys, I got to share with you that, Sri and I were talking about that in many different ways because this ties in and you got to stay through the whole show today because there's a lot of key points we're making. And one of the things there is that it's an entry. It's a vehicle that opens you up, that sends a signal to the universe that says, I'm willing to receive, that says I'm willing to move forward in my life. And I was giggling with Sri the other day when we were preparing for the show that I remember, way too many years ago. I hate to admit how many years ago, back in my other life, as I used to call it, when I was running a fairly large corporation, I really wanted a Jaguar. I wanted that car, and I wanted a 4-door sedan. I wanted it in this color that was this beautiful. They called it Merlot. I wanted the barley interior. I mean, I wanted the Sovereign edition. I was very clear on what I wanted. And I actually cut the ad of this car out and hung it on my office wall. Well, here's what's so funny about it, guys, is that every day for a year, this was in my office, and I kept looking at it and manifesting because I really wanted this car because, that tells you where I was at that point in my life. Long story short, it was almost exactly 1 year later. Not only did I get the Jaguar, I literally got that year, that model, that color, because I bought the demo. So
you got the 1-year-old at the dealer.
I got the 1-year-old because that's the one I had been manifesting. And I'm giggling about that because, yes, those things work. And I'm sure you all have stories like that where you've really, done the manifesting as far as the material, bringing that thing forward, whatever the thing, as you mentioned earlier, is.
And so there's before we go to our first break, we want to remind you what you focus on grows.
Always expands and expands. And that's where this passion...
That to me is more important than any quote-unquote law of attraction.
Oh, and we have so much to say about that, guys. And when we come in after the break, we're going to kind of debunk a couple of secret, if you get my myths. And we're going to bring in our passion, and we're going to bring in our charisma, and we're going to talk about this manifest energy. And so I think the best thing to do is for you guys to just take a deep breath.
And we'll be right back after these messages.